What up, YouTube? It's your boy ATrueHero. And once again, we have the GOAT himself, Ludo, back here with another top. Last time, he was the undisputed champion of the GOAT World Championship, and now he's here at top 8 of the Edison World Championship. So, Ludo, you gotta tell us, how are you feeling?
Yo, man, what's up? Always feel great to be here, to be your guest, and feels really good. Not gonna lie. If you don't win the tournament, you're always gonna have some kind of bad taste in your mouth. But I can't complain. I was the only one to top in both worlds. Uh, this Edison Worlds was only top 8, and I happened to win the GOT one, so I'm cool. Thank you for asking.
You have had a very successful year in Yu-Gi-Oh! As everyone knows, you won the GOAT World Championship, but your success doesn't stop there. You've won 2 major events this year and topped several events. So I have to ask, Ludo, how do you keep doing it again and again and again, and with different decks too?
Yeah, I think like I have a good understanding of the game. It doesn't come necessary through a lot of practice. Obviously, you need some experience with your deck. Well, at least reading your own cards, which some people don't. But joking aside, like I feel like after you play the game for so long, like you can kind of understand through theory what's gonna work and what's not gonna work. Uh, so my goat experience has helped me a lot with Edison because, as you know, like goat is a very very slow format. A lot of grind games, a lot of mind games. So this kind of helped me out through my journey in Edison, definitely.
Now, it's funny that you mentioned about duelists not reading their cards because this happened to me. I was playing Edison rated, okay? And I was playing the Blackwing mirror match, and I have Sirocco on the board, double Bora in my hand, and Whirlwind. So I searched out the third Bora and I went special summon triple Bora, and my opponent said, "You can't do that." He said, "You need to control another Blackwing." And I'm like, Sirocco's not another Blackwing? He's like, "You need a different Blackwing for each Bora you special summon." I'm like, bro, what? How do you play this deck and you don't even understand how the card interaction works? And then he told me, read the motherfucking card. He told that to me. So it's just crazy. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh players really don't read or know how their own cards work.
Yeah, yeah, for real. That's that's what I say. Start from reading your own cards.
Now, jokes aside,
Yeah.
getting back to this event, I noticed that for this event, 4 out of the top 8 spots were members of Perfect Circle, the team that you created, and those members being yourself, of course, Turna, Ghost Rider, and Yodaime. How does it feel to have such a successful team? Excuse me, I'm a bit sick. But how does it feel to have such a successful team already?
Yeah. So first of all, I wanted to specify that the team was co-founded by me and you. Like it was my idea, but you're also the co-captain,
Thank you.
and it feels, yeah, it feels great. Um, Me and Yondaime kind of prepared together because we always been like the Blackwing players in the team. So we were talking the night before. Um, I cannot show him my list. I knew his list. I can't talk about his list because he's still in the tournament. We had a couple of different takes, but overall, like we have been discussing Blackwing theory since a lot of time. Also because we are both Italians, and yeah, obviously he's a very an amazing player. Turna came with his value. We actually met through the Swiss, which was unlucky because I thought, like, oh, someone is gonna hand the other one run, but in the end, like I beat him, but he still made it to the top cut without losing any other games. So congrats to him. And Ghost Rider kind of did his own thing because he came with Dragon Turbo, like he's the best Dragon Turbo player, most successful. So I feel really proud of my team, because we were like 6 people, and out of 6 people, 4 of them made it to the top cut, like which is insane.
Yes.
So I definitely feel very proud. Everyone is really powerful in Perfect Circle, and is very very humble for me to be part of this team. And hopefully, like I know Yondamine and Turna will play the semi-final. So at least a member of Perfect Circle is guaranteed to the final, and hopefully we can take it home.
I love to hear that, and I also want to see it too. Now, here we can see you decided to play Blackwings, and you discussed a lot of Blackwing theory with Yondame the night before the event, as you mentioned. But recently, a lot of the success with the Vayu Sirocco decks have been coming from Vayu Turbo. Then why did you
Yeah,
decide to play Blackwings over Vayu Turbo?
yeah. So that's a really good question. So first of all, obviously, I want to say that decision is very personal. So there is no right and wrong overall. Like playing a deck that you are confident with is better than playing the best deck of the format. That's 100% sure. So I started to test in Vayu a lot of time ago. I can say 1 month and a half ago. I played really many games, ladder games. I played tournaments with it, and kind of everyone on, even on the team on Perfect Circle, was asking me, "Hey Ludo, why are you not playing Blackwing? Do you think Bayu is better?" Everyone had the same question, and I was like, I want to find out what's Bayu about. And I managed to top the BCS final on Bayu, but I every time I played it, I kind of felt Blackwing was better. Uh, there were a couple of reasons. The first of all, the first one is called Wide Wing. It's kind of obvious,
Yes.
but overall, I just felt Blackwing as a real engine behind. Like Vayu is more like a pile there. Like you don't have a proper engine going on. You can use Rota to search Grepper, Armageddon Knight, Gardena, but that's it. You don't have really a way to connect your entire deck. While in Blackwing, like you have Icarus attack, they're all wing beast. If your opponent removes your Shura, your Bora, you follow up with Blizzard. And it's just the deck is more versatile overall. Like Blizzard is an insane card. It's the only card in Edison that can make you do a synchro through a single card, which is insane. Shura is insane, and the thing about Blackwing is that like anytime your opponent plays you, he has such an high pressure because he needs to play around Shura, around Icarus, around Kalut. Like you have so many different threats. So I just felt like the deck was better. The other things I didn't like about Bayu was like the hands. Like sometimes you would play Blackwing, which I think is not a good matchup for Bayu. Is a very tough matchup. But sometimes you would play Blackwing and Hero Beat, and you would open like Armageddon Knight or Greffer, which are not a great start. You want to open Raikou Hamster, and other times you would play like Monarch, and you would open like Hamster Raikou, which
Right.
you don't want to open because they are kind of slow. You want to open with the aggressive start. So I didn't like this energy, this random thing. And overall, like I don't know, something was always missing. Like going through Plague to make a synchro play is always a big risk because you need to stack a card on the top. Uh, if you don't have Rota or a way to unlock the top deck, you have a dead top deck next. And if you have a dead top deck next, you better win that turn.
Yes.
Guards was a big issue for Vayu. Like a lot of time you had to respect guards, because it's like Vayu struggles a lot against big monster early game because your armored wing is 23. So guards by itself is 27, 25 defense is insane. Stardust Dragon was also a huge problem. Uh, like as you could see, like I played 2 Vayu in the Swiss and I beat both. And against both of them, I used Stardust Dragon to do that because like it's at 25 that can negate destruction, which means like you can negate the Raikou. And if they want to remove it, they have to go through black place, which means that top decks on top, and then
Exactly right.
they will probably have to make Brio, which means another discarded card. So um, overall, like I tried it so much with Vayu because it's kind of funny. I always play mid-range deck, and Blackwing is an aggro deck. So mid-range deck are always my first choice. Coming from GOAT, I play Chaos Turbo, which is like a great mid-range deck. And most of the people that I know, good players coming from GOAT, they all play Vayu. And they all tell me the same thing. How do you like Blackwing over Vayu when Blackwing is more like warrior of GOAT format? And I don't know, like it just, I have, as I said, I have more lines for the game with Blackwing, like the fact that you can search Gale. Like Gale by itself is an insane card. Gale alone can out a Stardust Dragon. So I overall by my testing, like my testing was Blackwing, Vayu, Hero Frog, and some Hero Beat. The Hero Beat option, I discarded it yearly. I think Hero Beat is a great deck, very consistent, but the problem is it's too fair. You don't have
Right. It doesn't have what it
high.
takes to win. It doesn't have the sack cards that the
Exactly.
other decks have.
Exactly. And when you go through a top cut in a tournament, it means it's your good day, but it also means it's your opponent good day. So when it comes, to throwing bombs, your opponent is gonna have more bombs. So Hero Beat, great deck. I made a top cut through the HRC, but whatever. And then I played Hero Frog, and I was beating a lot of people with Hero Frog, really. But I think like Hero Frog is a deck that help you or edge you against people who are not very familiar with the matchup. As soon as you play a good player, you're gonna get a lot of side eight, a great technical play. It's gonna be really hard to win, especially if you play Bayu Blackwing.
See,
So I discarded Hero Frog. Yeah,
for me,
that
when it comes to my take on Vayu Sirocco versus well, not Vayu Sirocco, but Vayu decks versus Blackwing decks, I have almost the exact same opinion as you. And we've actually personally talked about this before, and everything you've said now to the viewers, I've agreed with because it's true. When it comes to Hero Beat, it's just not strong enough. They don't have what it takes to win because they don't have those high power cards. When it comes to Vayu decks, like I think they have the best starters. They have Hamster, they have Raikou, and even Armageddon Knight isn't a terrible starter either. Whereas Black Wings, it doesn't have as great starters unless you open up Whirlwind. If you open up Whirlwind, like Whirlwind Shora, Whirlwind Blizzard, even Whirlwind Kalute, it's a great starter. But outside of Whirlwind, like just normal summoning a Bora, normal summoning a Sirocco, normal summoning a Kalute, which often you won't do, it's not a great starter. But even though Blackwings don't have the best starters in comparison to Vayu Turbo, the engine is more well put together. Like you said, Vayu Turbo is just a pile deck. And with pile decks, sometimes you get your cards in the right order, sometimes you don't. Whereas Blackwings, even if you don't open up Whirlwind, you have other options available to you that you can play the deck in such a way that you can still win. And I'm not, mitigating the success of Vayu Turbo because it has won several events recently as I started staying.
yeah,
But still, I think overall, just Black Wings, it flows better than Vayu Turbo, in my personal opinion. And for those of you who might have played me on the ladder, if you play me, I'm going to be playing Black Wings because I love Black Wings and I just think the deck works perfectly well. And I won't be playing Vayu Turbo, even though the deck is really good. Once again, I want to stress, I'm not saying Vayu Turbo is a bad deck. I just think that people often sleep on Black Wings. And another point that you mentioned that I'll stress again, a lot of the really good players weren't playing Black Wings recently.
Yeah,
And now
yeah,
that
exactly.
the better
Yeah,
players are playing Black Wings, that's why you're seeing the success of the deck. And it's not just like you and Yodaime or even me, but even like Ryo Coco. Like when these type of players, when they're playing Black Wings, you're gonna see them top or even win events. So it's something just to keep in mind.
yeah, I absolutely agree. Like usually Blackwing is the deck chosen by the average Joe, like the beginner or the player that plays, casually, because the deck can carry you. Like the deck is crazy. Like when it's your day, and I'm not gonna lie, like at the World Championship, it was kind of my day. Like I was savaging people, but I told the day before to Big James, our teammate. We were in the Discord call, and I told him, bro, tomorrow you don't want to play me because I'm just gonna darker my dragon you. What I mean, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm feeling good, like I'm feeling hot, and that's what I did. So overall, yeah, I agree with you. Like obviously the meta is so wide, but if you look at the percentage, I think from the pro players, the majority brings value over
Yes.
Blackwing, because as you said, like if Blackwing doesn't open Wirewing, all the openings are kind of weird. They're kind of mid because you go like, oh, normal Bora doesn't do anything, normal Cal doesn't do anything. But as I said before, like you have so many threats. Like maybe
Yes.
you don't have anything going on in your end, but your opponent still have to respect Shura, Icarus, and whatever.
Yes, that's exactly right. So you brought up a point that kind of leads into my next question about how you said you were savaging people. What was the
Yeah.
MVP card for you throughout the tournament? Was it Brain Control? Was it Whirlwind? Was it Dark Arm? What was it?
I think I think it was Wirewing. I'm sorry for all my opponents, but you all got, next year you can try again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. So if you've made it this far into the video, you've been watching the replays, and you see Ludo has been opening up Whirlwind a lot. But this is the awesome thing about Black Wings. It's like the average Joe can play Black Wings fairly well, but if you give a player like Ludo, Yondaime, etc., Black Wings, and they open up cards like Whirlwind, Dark Arm, Brain Control, good luck. Like, good luck. You're not
Yeah,
going to beat them.
it's like modern deck, you know what I mean? FTK.
Yeah,
Double wire wing. Next game, please.
right. There was even a set where you did go double Whirlwind Shora.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's just good luck. I agree. Even a lot of my success when I was playing Black Wings too, same. I opened up Whirlwind quite a lot. But, you know, just so the record is stated, Ludo doesn't need Whirlwind to beat you. I don't need Whirlwind to beat you. But when it's our day, it's
yeah. I
our
would
day.
still take it because I don't want to find out if you know what I mean. I still take the free win. I will
Right.
still open wire win on everyone
So
if I can.
this is actually something that I want to actually talk about too. You kind of pick your brain. So it's very unfortunate that you lost the mirror match in top 8. You had a very good run. So what do you feel about the Blackwing mirror match? Like, how do you feel about it, rather?
So my only two losses were the last round against Yodamine, but we were already in top cut because I was 5-0, he was in 5-0, and then it was the top 8 on the mirror match too.
Right. So
I
both
played
your
three
losses were
mirror,
against mirror
yeah,
matches.
yeah, exactly. And I played 3 mirror match overall. One I won 2-0, and the other one I got 2-0 back. So yeah, I don't think the Blackwing mirror is that great. I think Wirewind is such a power horse card. Uh, the dice is really relevant, and I would say Eevee Storm. I would say I
Yes.
would say Eevee Storm. Like most of the times, you look at your hand and it just loses to Eevee Storm on the mirror match, like straight on point. So I would say yeah, the strongest card are Wirewind and Eevee Storm turn one. So I don't think I think the mirror match is not really the greatest showcase. Yeah,
Right.
you can do a couple of small things to kind of edge in your way, but overall, it's just sucking fast, in my opinion.
Right.
It's not even about like Warwind or Storm by themselves, because yeah, they are the strongest card, but it's more about like who can draw the right cards at the right time.
Yes. Yes. That's definitely true. And that comes down to any mirror match. If your opponent draws,
Yeah,
or just any match in general, if your opponent draws the right cards at the right time, it's really kind of hard to beat them. Now, my personal opinions on the Blackwing mirror match differ a little bit than Ludo's, because I definitely agree with what he said that if you open up Whirlwind Heavy Storm, you're going to be in a very strong position. However, if my opponent opens up Whirlwind and I'm playing the Blackwing mirror match and I don't open up Whirlwind, I'm not too upset because there's so many cards that can counteract Whirlwind in the mirror match. For example, you have two Whirlwinds of your own, but if you don't open up that, you also have three Icarus attacks, Heavy Storm, MST, and Triple Sirocco, right? Sirocco can pump and
yeah,
get a huge advantage. So that right there is at least 10 different cards plus Allure, Dark Arm, right? So more than 10 cards that can kind of even the odds if your opponent opens up Whirlwind Shora or Whirlwind any Blackwing. So I actually do enjoy playing the mirror match, but at the end of the day, it does come down to an element of luck, an element of a sack fest at a certain point. But that's Yu-Gi-Oh for you. That's definitely Yu-Gi-Oh for you. What
yeah.
advice would you give like to newer Blackwing players?
What advice? Drawing Wirewing, you want? I would say like try to to play like your hand in the best way. Don't get too greedy. Like sometimes I see people like getting really greedy, getting punished by mirror force or torrential, because it's true. Like if you open Wirewing, you get an advantage, especially if your opponent doesn't have a way the next turn to stop it. So the following turn, you still get in plus, but like the deck still relies on the normal summon. So
Yes.
if they can stop the normal summon, they can make somehow a comeback. Um, and I really think Blackwing is like any aggro deck, like it's easy to learn but hard to master,
Right.
because there are like two, three things in the match that are really decisions. The deck is pretty linear, straightforward, but those two, three things make the difference. So the difference between a master of Blackwing and a good, decent Blackwing player, it's gonna be how well he knows the meta. You know what I mean? Because it's all about
So
how to interrupt my opponent.
that's actually a
Yeah.
really good point. And I know you and I, we joke about opening up Whirlwind, but there are some duelists who are newer to Edison that actually don't know what to search with Whirlwind. Now, I'm going to give my 2 cents and then you can feel free to add on or disagree. But let's say you open up Whirlwind. If you open up Whirlwind Sirocco, it really depends on your hand. But generally, you want to search out a Gale to make either a Stardust. But if your opponent has, or a level 8 Synchro, but if your opponent has a set monster, searching out a Bora could be a good search too. But if you're having a monster shortage, then you can search out a Shora. If you open up Whirlwind Shora, generally the best card to search is Kalut. And if you already have the Kalut, then if you know the attack is going to go through, you should search Gale, because you can go Shora, Special Summon Gale, attack over the monster, search out value, Synchro Armor Master, Synchro level 8, and then you have a level 8 monster on the field with a value and Armor Master in the graveyard. But that's only if you know for a fact the attack's going to go through. And if you're not sure, then the safe choice is also adding Blizzard. Very rarely do you want to add Shora and Bora to your hand. But there are certain cases where you do want to add Bora off Whirlwind Shora. If you open up Whirlwind Kalut, the best choice is usually Blizzard. But once again, it depends on your hand because there might be certain scenarios where you search out a Gale. If you open up Whirlwind Blizzard, then obviously your only choice is Value. And that's it. So that's generally the cards you want to search with Whirlwind. Do you have anything like you want to add to that?
No, I completely agree. Like, yeah, like you need to try to give your value like the best value possible, because as I was saying before, like the deck relies on the normal summon. So once you can grace set, like you were mentioning, the play to going like Shura Gale. If Shura goes through summoning Veyo, you go Armor Master, you go Stardust. Like that's huge for Blackwing because you have Veyo and Armor Master with your grave. Because it doesn't take too much for Blackwing. That's how Blackwing wins, even if you have mid ends through damage. Like the damage adds up quickly, and then you have a random value into the graveyard. You go for whatever Armor Master, Armwing, what's that, Silver Wind. So one of them, and you just kill your opponent. So once your opponent drops to 4k life points, like the match can be over the next turn for Blackwing.
That's right. And while I was talking about Whirlwind, actually one thing came to mind because you've made a lot of innovative changes to the Blackwing meta. One of which being Yada, and another one was Mistral. So when I was going through the cards to add with Whirlwind, I was like, oh, Mistral isn't here. Is there any
Yeah.
particular reason why you decided to take out Mistral?
Well, it was nice swagging of Mistral because I put the card on the map because people, oh, this card is a Black Queen. The first time I played it at the deck Devastator, people were like, let me read this card. Or some people were attacking into it. Mistral is the only Black Queen with huge defense because usually Shura is the highest on 12,
Mm-hmm.
but Mistral was like 18. Like, that's insane. So, yeah, no, but I mean, I just put I had a different list which was with Mind Control and Mistral. So the Mind Control made sense because you had Mistral with, which was a Tanner tuner. So yeah, I played a more consistent list, also expecting mirror matches. As you can see, I max out the prison because this deep prison is really good because you cut them off the follow up. You know what I mean? Like they go bar attack, you deep prison, they can't follow up with Blizzard. So I had this. I wanted this list to be very standard, which it's kind of like my style. Like if you had a chance to watch my deck profile of the goat former world championship, you see a standard list because all I want to do is to not break. You know what I mean? And then I will use the edge through my technical play. So I just want a smooth list that doesn't have too many bricks. If I can find the spice, I put in it, but it's not something I always do. I'm not one of these person that I always need to have the tech. I always need to have something that other people don't expect. Also because I think in those kind of tournaments it doesn't work really well because it's replay open, so
Right.
anybody can see. So like if I don't know, like you add that one my body, whatever that card you wanna say, like people are gonna see through the replay. So I just wanted something really really consistent. I think my list was really good for me. Like it was good performing. I didn't test a lot of Blackwing. I know it can sound crazy, but I tested everything besides Blackwing. Um, because I wanted to make sure I wanted to play Blackwing. You know what I mean?
Right. Because you're
So
already a master with Blackwing. It's the same with me. If I'm going into a big event, I don't need to test with Diva Hero. Like I already know the deck like the back of my hand. So what I do is I play other decks to see if I want to play Diva Hero. And if I don't do well with the other decks, then I'll be like, okay, I can play Diva Hero.
yeah, and I played a similar list to this one. Like I think it was 3 weeks before the World Championship, and maybe 3 weeks, 1 month at a regional. The only difference was that I had one DD Crow instead of the third D Prison, and my overall score at the regional was 7-1. Like I went 5-0 in Swiss, won the top eight, lost top four, and then won for the third place.
That's amazing.
Uh, yeah, and that's where I realized I wanted a third D Prison because like they I never played at an Edison tournament in real life, and my friends told me, oh, that the Edison meta here in our area is zombie, and then I played like I think Blackwing, Blackwing, Blackwing. Everyone was on Blackwing, so that's when I kind of realized, oh, I want to have the deep prison, the third deep prison, also because I saw a lot of people were on the my body technology, and deep prison can punish that really hard.
That's
So
right. You're gonna have a
uh,
dead my body.
yeah, the side deck. I mean, I think the changes that I made from the past was the third rag instead of the second diamond. I only played one hero frog, and that was really tough. But the rags performed amazing, and yeah, I put the Starlight Road on side deck because I was expecting some mirror matches. But I didn't want to main it because I had like oppression, I had Yatas. I
Right.
just wanted to be consistent. Like if you don't play many mirror matches, like Starlight Road can be kind of mid. I mean, it's
Yeah,
still a good card.
I'm not the
It's
biggest
still a
fan of main deck Starlight Road either.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a good card. At the end of the day, like Torrential, Starlight Road, Second Book of Moon, My Body as a Shield, they are all good cards. Like it's small decision. Like I keep trying, to change and switching cards around just to not be predictable because a lot of my lists are there. And yeah, then I think that the rest of the side deck was pretty standard. I only played one Crow because I didn't have the space for the second one. I think Crow is really amazing in Blackwing. You can set it and use with Icarus. You have Allure of Darkness. You have many ways, but I didn't have the space. Double deck there, like card is busted, and double Nobleman. I played two values, so Nobleman was really good. And yeah, I think I've said everything from my side, right? So, double Dust Tornado, double Cyber Dragon. I was also, like Dust Tornado is such a good generic card. You can set against Hero Beat, Blackwing, weird stuff with back row deck.
Right.
And Cyber Dragon is also really generic, like for Machina and stuff. Didn't side Cyber Dragon a lot because I didn't play like a lot of anti-meta decks, but I use it in the mirror match, I think. So that was it.
I definitely think that part of your success is your deck building knowledge. And because of that, you were able to make appropriate meta calls and just win. And I think pretty much with that, we're going to kind of bring this interview to a close because Ludo has been spitting nothing but amazing knowledge. So if you've made it this far, hit that rewind button, watch it again, and really soak up everything that he said because he's one of literally the best players in the game. And you don't have to take my word for it. Look at his track record. He's topped almost every single event that he's went into, and not only that, he's won so many events this year. So I mean, I have to ask to close things off, what shoutouts do you have?
Yeah. So shout out to Perfect Circle, the people in it, particularly to Pete, Luna, because like me and him were discussing this thing. Like we had a good discussion before Worlds, and I was thinking about playing some unexpected stuff like 2 weeks before Worlds, and talking to him, he convinced me to play Blackwing. And also, like we had the discussion about Bayou or Blackwing, which one was better, and he agreed with me because I always think like you have to discuss yourself, you have to discuss your theories. Like Bayou was winning a lot, you won Wisest Richmond, you won the ruler, so he was just winning events. But then we kind of went down to what we said before. So shout out to him and to whole Perfect Circle. We are the best.
Huh. We're gonna have to come up with a perfect circle chant at this point. Well, man, thank you so much for coming on the channel again. I really appreciate it. This was an
Yeah.
amazing interview. I can't wait until your next event that you top, or even better, that you win.
Let's hope. Let's hope to see soon.
All right, and with that, a true hero and perfect circle out. Peace.
Subscribe or you too will be sent to the Shadow Realm.